Hello everyone. So I just made a cup of coffee between making paints, and I thought, let's start a live. I'm making paint anyway, so why not? Ian, I hope you're enjoying your Coke. Namisao, welcome. And Ian, I think you can just, you can put your iPad, standing maybe against something or something like that, whilst having your paint making in front of you, right? I mean, that's what I do. You're basically on an iPad. So as you can see, today we are going to make Pigment PY227. And I had made this before, I think, at least not here, I think. Or it must have been a long time ago. I had some pens to give an extra layer. I'm looking for the pens. I have 5 of them needing an extra layer. The rest of them are already finished, and I need to refill or restart some new pens. Restart? I need to start some new pens. This is a color, I do offer this color as a separate color, as a single pigment, but I also offer it, did I offer it? Did I sell that? I think I actually made the pen, didn't I? Okay, now this is not good for me. I made a trio pen with Yinmin, Yintico, and NTP Yellow. So this is NTP Yellow, PY227. Because it's basically the latest-ish yellow. I know there is a bismuth yellow, bismuth yellow that is a little bit more novel, but it looks very similar to other yellows, whereas this one matches the opacity of Yinmin and Yintico, and I think it's quite a nice combination of colors. They don't mix bright. It's not like if you mix Yintico, Yinmin, and NTP Yellow, you have a palette that you can, a limited palette that you can use for mixing all colors. They are all going to be quite muted, quite opaque colors, not a bright violet, not very bright greens, earthy greens. It's quite a warm yellow against a neutral blue. It is a neutral blue. So it's not going to, give you a palette that you can mix, and instead of the rainbow of pigments around me, you cannot mix any bright rainbow colors with it. So I'm just finishing my coffee, and then I'm going to get started making paint again. I have my tools ready. That's a shame, Ian. No, you don't want your iPad to be covered in pigment and paint as well. Sylvia, you're welcome. For me, you could see the time over there. This is my YouTube follower clock-ish, with the time being, I can just have a look as well. 2:30. 1:30. That is very exciting, Sylvie, and it should be with you quite fast. At least it was for me. Oh, that's a big spider. Ooh, I wish I didn't see that. Not that I'm afraid of spiders, but like sometimes the big ones that if you can see that they're actually looking at you, they're too big, right? Thanks for adding that, Rick. I'm going to add that to the screen. But as a reaction of yesterday's live, thank you very much, and have a great night. Niobium tin pyrochlor. Yes, it's NTP Yellow. Well, I'm just going to keep it at that. With it being a beautiful, warm, vibrant warm yellow. So actually just washed my hands before I made coffee, so I'm putting on some liquid gloves. So if I do end up with pigments on my hand, or staining pigment, for instance, I don't know what I'm going to make after this, they will be easy to get off my hands. Also, I think I fixed the my laptop last two streams. My laptop was kind of overheating. And it's not, I don't use any other software, I don't use anything else, so I didn't really know what happened. I did kind of mess around in OBS, which I use for streaming, to see if I can up the quality of the audio. And with that, I accidentally selected to stream in 4K. So last few streams were in 4K. And having, you know, all the processing going on with the audio, with 4 microphones at once and 4 cameras at once, it was a bit much for my laptop, in combination with other software it's running. So it's not doing that anymore. I'm streaming in 2K now, which is more than enough, I think. Never really was an issue for me, I think. Was a bit hesitant at first. I don't like watching it back. So editing for me isn't the most fun to do. But yeah, it never really was an issue, I think. I didn't make it an issue. Let me just put it like that. You can make like a faceless channel, which is good. I've been thinking about that as well. There's loads of like successful faceless channels, but they're all very aesthetic focused, which is kind of, you know, is a great way to go. Not that I'm not minding the aesthetics, but I did want to share my enthusiasm, and I did want to share my passion for pigments and talking about that. And I think, you know, just showing pictures like slideshows with a voiceover, things like that, or a video with a voiceover, makes it harder to share that, to bring that emotion, I think. And yeah, so basically this is I have to say, I got the question from the chat here a while back to have like more talks with you, like I'm doing now, like I did yesterday mostly. So this is like the first, this is not this stream, but this is the first time that I put myself like in the middle of the screen and nothing else. Whereas I would be more comfortable with this, just, you know, small me and a lot of paint visible. I've actually decreased the size of the video with me here and the close-up here. So I was a bit like, you know, shall I do this? But then again, people wanted me to chat more and be more interactive with the chat, and I think, you know, having if I want to be interactive, then just, you know, seeing me is or seeing the person, not me in particular, but seeing that person, I would feel more connected with the stream as a viewer. So this is why I did that. Yeah, I don't agree with the way Instagram goes about, you know, especially when you want to verify yourself as an account. They need you to have your face in your profile picture. I don't agree with that, so I'm not going to do that. It's like it wouldn't be an issue, but Dirty Blue isn't just me. Dirty Blue is an idea, and Dirty Blue is a product and sharing of a passion for pigments. And, you know, being forced to have your real name and picture, so your identity as a person, not as a brand, but as a person, to be able to be verified, I don't agree with that. No, it's yeah. I'm not even slowly. I very quickly went to YouTube when I noticed my Instagram like really wasn't going anywhere, and also it gave me a lot of anxiety. No positiveness came out of that, even though, you know, some reels over there did 20 million, 10 million views or something like that. I didn't make any money out of that. I didn't get any more customers out of it. I did get a bunch of new followers, but not really any more interaction. So it doesn't mean anything. It's just emptiness and faking it to the outside world. I don't know. It felt like that, so I stepped out of that. And a few months ago, when I decided to do weekly streams, and doing more often now, but weekly streams, and that this community of ours is slowly growing, and the interaction is always, you know, fun and very meaningful to everyone, as far as I hear. It means so much more. And my follower account is growing on YouTube. That reel that I talked about a few streams ago, that was at 300,000, now is over 650,000 views. But then again, I don't notice any more interaction with my videos. So it's like, it's nice. Still, it only makes, like, you know, having near 700,000 views only made me 15 euros. I can't even buy a bottle of pigment for it. And I'm not active enough to deliver a high quality and constant amount of successful YouTube shorts to get like 10 of these that give me 15 euros, which makes it more interesting. But I need to have at least 10 of these a month, or now weekly, to make it more interesting for a monthly like side hustle. So financially, and I'm not doing this because of you know, I want to make easy money or something with YouTube. What am I going to do? 2.5. Because it is not easy money. It's a little bit of money, and it's a lot of work if you want to do it full time. But it does give a little bit of satisfaction that the advertisements aren't just the profits of it aren't just going to YouTube. So it's nice to see that I have a little bit of advantage out of it. Yesterday I was thinking on how would we imagine. I'm not going to use the big muller for this, by the way. I'm going to use the 9cm one. Yesterday I was kind of imagining how would we, how would you guys look at, for instance, if we do a Teams meeting or a Zoom thing or whatever. How would you see that? To not make it, we need a moderator, I think, especially looking at the enthusiasm of our regular audience here. It will be fully chaotic if everyone's going to talk at once. It's a great idea, Sylvie. Just go for it, I think. I think that's the best way to start. Just try it out. What I'm using, OBS. If you have multiple cameras, this is free software and it works great. It has loads of options, and I'm really a beginner with this. I'm not looking to expand anything more knowledge-wise for this. I think what I do here is working. And I started with literally, I think not even a year ago. I just used my phone. I put my phone on a tripod above my desk, and that was my live stream. And the chat had to be like in front of me from a different screen, or I put my laptop even in front of me. And I put my phone above there, and that was it. And when I want to do multiple cameras, I use an old phone of mine, and there's a function in the YouTube app. I think you can invite someone to your live. I invited myself from another account on YouTube to have the second screen, which gave loads of issues because the echo and you name it. But I fixed that kind of as well, just to start very basic and see, you know, how does it feel for me. With this, it is super nice that we can, you know, you can change cameras, add scenes, add things. This is nice, it is working, but it is fully unnecessary. You need to have a little kind of production studio while you're streaming. And even this, from what I've seen, and I'm not experienced with this at all, I'm just working with the things that I could afford and that were either within my budget and limited time and for gaining new knowledge about this. It's super basic what I have compared to what some people use for live streams, like professionals, professional streamers. As you can see, by the way, this paint is super easy to mill. It re-wets. It wets beautifully. It mixes beautifully with the binder. Which is also, and that's why I put them in a, made a trio pen for it. It mills the same as Yinmin and Yintico. It mixes the same, it feels the same. It is very opaque, as you can see. It is a bright and vivid yellow. Make sure that your Nikon can be used as a webcam for your computer. Hopefully yours can. Mine couldn't, which is a shame because I have beautiful lenses. And I can't use that for this, at least. You know, just try it with your phone, because maybe at first, before you need to maybe buy new cables or stuff like that, you need to probably buy a capture card for your laptop. Not sure if it's needed for your Nikon, but possibility is there. Your phone has the internet connection. Your phone has the... Oh, that's a nice camera. Your phone has the camera. Your phone has a microphone. Your phone has a YouTube app. So it's all in one thing. And if you really feel uncomfortable, then you don't need to invest anything. Then you just know if it's for you or not. Let me just quickly have a look. That is... Oh, that's the really new one. Oh, that's awesome. That is an awesome camera, Sylvie. Yeah, okay, now I'm getting jealous because your live stream is already going to look way better than mine is. Just the idea of it is way better than what my camera can do, what my webcam can do. So just maybe don't try it. No, just kidding. Is there anything you do with photography? Because that's a serious camera. Hello, welcome. The thing, why I was in the beginning, I was really kind of in doubt. Shall I invest like in a very good camera, like throwing all my budget in there, and hopefully I can do with a little bit of less lighting. And even I wasn't talking that kind of quality cameras, by the way. But the thing I ran into with that, I forget to charge things. So for microphones, for webcams or cameras, for the lighting, I needed something that just can go on while I'm streaming or for when I'm streaming, and I don't need to charge. So I found a beautiful microphone before I bought any of the stuff that I have, and it only worked on battery. Even connected through USB-C, you needed to charge the battery. It was either charging or connected to your laptop, and I didn't buy that because I'm live streaming and it gets late. Like yesterday, it gets kind of late. I'm logging up YouTube, but turning off my computer, and I forget to charge the microphone, or I forget to charge the camera, or things like that. And that's what kind of stopped me from doing other things. Yes, you can plug them in like a charger and an adapter and have them constantly charging and things like that. But when I'm turning off my laptop, like nothing has power. And that's the kind of a feeling I also like, since it's a permanent setup. So yeah, there's been loads of variables in this, and there's a save for everything. Does your MacBook have a capture card? Well, a capture card, basically what a capture card does, it translates a video signal like HDMI to something that it can see as a usable output. So if, for instance, I would like to make a stream about gaming, and I'm going to connect my Nintendo or my PlayStation or whatever to my laptop, I need a capture card first so that my laptop can use the screen, whatever you would see on your television, usually see it as an input like a webcam. So no, no computer has that like built in, at least not a standard computer. MacBook doesn't have that. You have PCs that you can build with capture cards in them, obviously. But basically for regular users, capture cards need to be bought separately. But there is a but. There might be software if you can connect your you can probably connect your Nikon. I'm looking at the specs. I'm sure you can connect it to USB-C. Probably Nikon has software that can actually do that for you, connected to USB-C. So that's worth looking into. That saying, I don't know how synchronized that input is to other inputs then. I don't have any experience with that. It probably shouldn't have any delay. Probably, hopefully. But that's something worth looking into if you're serious about this. Thank you, Namisao. It is a beautiful color. It is literally, I find it, if I would think yellow for watercolors, this wouldn't be the yellow I would think about, since it is very opaque. But it is a beautiful yellow. I need to get rid of some air bubbles here. Yeah, there you go. When you're making paint, there's always something to be shown, Sylvie. Especially with the lovely group of people here. It sounds like a very interesting job, Ian. You talked about this before to me, but being a photographer there, I bet you have seen some things, to put it mildly, I think. Let me have a look for the pens. In the meantime, I think they're here. Yes, I found them. Luckily, I made a separate drawer for these. So these are my trio pens, which basically, they say dirty blue on one side. Damn, the white balance is off. Let me just quickly fix this. What are we doing here? White balance. What is it? That is still way off, but can we do auto white balance? Oh, for my hands, that's better at least. So it says dirty blue on one side, and on the other side, it says, let me have a look if you can see it clearly in the light. Well, it says PR298, PB86, and PY227. The 7 is almost falling off the pen, but it's on the edge. So it's I need to pour this in the right spot. Literally, it is the right one in this case. I can't spill it. I sell well the pens I sell. I can show you. I can quickly show you the difference between my pens that I sell. So these are the pens that I sell on this. These are my pens, and the difference is the shape. I can just do this, the shape on the side. So these are just traditional half pens. Mine are square. Size-wise, they are the same. With the pens that I sell, it has DB on the bottom, just very subtly dirty blue. Mine don't have anything. Well, I do have my brand on the side and the pigment number on the side, and these don't have anything on the side. So I make full pens with separation walls like this. which I also sell. PY227, is that antimony? And antimony, what is it? Antimony, I think. Thanks, Sylvie. Did I just pour this in the wrong? Ah, damn it. Okay, need to pay more attention. Luckily, I have enough pens, but that's a shame. Also, I think it's a year. Yeah, I think a little bit over a year ago, I bought a new webcam, and I returned it the day after I got it because my laptop back then I couldn't handle a microphone input, a camera input, and things like that. So all the things at once, it was lagging. It wasn't even before streaming. It was even lagging. So that's another thing you need to think about. You don't need a very like the fastest and newest laptop or a computer, but it needs to be able to run these things. Yeah, Robert, I built a new studio over the summer, and I had a lot of issues with, before the summer, I had a lot of issues with paints that weren't sellable. I had an issue with my dehydrator, and after that, I've just been slowly making paint, settling in my studio and thinking about new content for YouTube and working a little bit on ideas and everything. Plus the humidity, couldn't find the word there, is a little bit higher here in this new place, so it takes a little bit longer for my paints to dry. But I agree with you, it takes a little bit too long, so I will open my shop probably within 2 weeks for pre-orders for my paints. So at least, you know, there's you can see what I sell and the prices and things like that, but it will take a little bit longer for them to get to you. But but I will work as much as I can on this to get it right. Thank you for the compliment of the pens. The quarter pen is one that I fill them here. No, I didn't, but I can show it to you. This is my quarter pen. Let me get to it close. It looks like a half pen. It's the same size of a half pen, but it has like a higher bottom. So it looks exactly as a half pen with the pigment number, but within the transparency, you can see that the bottom is just halfway on the pen. I only have an Etsy. I think one of my better pens are the dot pens. So these ones. It's just, you know, if you want to sample a paint, and if you have a traditional painter's palette like a metal one that fits half pens, this fits perfectly, and you can just have a tiny dot of paint in your palette. And I'm most proud on this pen. I see that I have a very early sample of the pen, which was just basically like a little cradle within the pen, but this took way longer to print. But I still like it. And this dot pen, this one actually fits more paint. So yeah, my goal with designing the pens, autofocus here, everything needs to fit in a painter's palette, like in a metal palette. That was my, come on, we can autofocus, right? We can do that. Yes, there we go. There we kind of go. That was my main goal. All the pens that I made for real usage, so that I use myself as well, all fit into a painter's palette. There are exceptions, which are custom pens I do for people, but most of the times with a customer, when I sitting down, but when I talk with them about designing a pen, I always suggest, is it a possibility to fit your design, to do your design, but let it fit into a painter's palette? So change the orientation a bit, or change the size, change the, so that they actually fit into a palette, although they're not a rectangle or square shape. And most of the times that's very successful. There have been times, and it's that's just part of the business. I designed a pen for someone, and with that design comes like, okay, this is your design here. I'm not selling your design. If you want to buy your pens, you have to pay for designing it once, and with that, the buying the pens, that's the cost that comes with it. Every time you buy it, you don't only have to pay for the design ones, but buying your pens, you obviously need to pay money. Sylvia, I'm going to check that if there's anything going on. Let me quickly just do the mics, okay? Is this better? Hopefully this is better. I don't know. I didn't have anything open, but I just restarted the software. unfortunately, I had a few times already that I designed a pen for someone and giving them the exclusive rights to be the only one to buy the pens, and I didn't charge them any design fee, but like the exclusive rights to use the pen and sell the pen. So they're a little bit more expensive than my regular half pens. And what happened is that some of them got the design, ordered 100 pens or something, and I never would hear from them again. And then I noticed they bought their own 3D printer, copied my design, and started printing them for themselves. So yeah, there's that. Looking at what it costs to I use recycled materials only for 3D printing, so it's a bit more environmentally friendly. It's a bit more expensive to buy as well. You think you have one of my copied pens, so that's great. You can tell me on Instagram whom they're from. Also, the maintenance of a 3D printer can get quite expensive. It's just something that it's heating up to melt plastic, and it has moving parts. So it's melting plastic, and it's and moving parts. Oh, please do send me that through DM, Sylvie. Gulchan, it's not really a topic actually. I'm just making paint, but now we're talking about the pens that I make. Okay, now you really need to tell me. Very curious. Since I am making for Gulchen, this is to answer your question. Since I'm making NTP Yellow, which is also part of this triad pen, I was talking about pen designs and things like that. Not the rights to sell the pens, but I would quickly go into I would design the pens and print pens for people, so they can fill them with paint. And then there were people who stopped buying the pens for me, but I still saw them using my pens without buying them, and it turned out they copied the design just after their first small batch of pens bought. Heather, I've just come in, but let me just put this on screen. I noticed that PY227 is an exclusive color, except for Memory Blue. I think there are more people selling this, I think. I will swatch it, definitely. I won't swipe this off the palette just now. I will use this to swatch the paint. I have a not a few customers. Sometimes I have a customer that I think that's a better way to put it. Sometimes I have a customer who buys pens in bulk, and I'm talking 10,000 pens. But in all honesty, I do give them other prices as well. Since it's that large of an amount, my printers will be constantly printing during those for those orders, and they pay a lot less per pen than you would do in my Etsy shop. But for the amount and like they're buying and being loyal customers that also come back for pens, I think it's fair enough to do that. Sylvie, I'm still waiting for you to tell me who that is who copied my pens in a bad way. Yeah, sure. Well, I'm equipped for it. Let me just put it like that. Old days, yes. About the I saw your comment. And that's good to hear, Gulchen, that you like it. What was I talking about? Old days. The samples you were asking about. I think that's just the best way to go. Gamer has a lot of pigments, so I'm not really sure I can tell you you need to try this or that, or I don't really have super favorites. I think the first thing you need to have a look at is this what color do I like most? I think it's that. Please do. Well, I did have Sylvie. In all honesty, I did have, but that was with one printer. I had the issue that I had a few pens that did leak, but the person who bought them from me immediately told me. They noticed. They told me, and I sent them new ones, and it was a very stupid, like, kind of beginner's mistake, and it all had to do with the maintenance of your printer. It wasn't printing a watertight layer anymore. There was a little bit of gap between the printer lines, especially on the bottom. So I did have that. I didn't set my printer for the new material I was working with back then. I had to change settings. I went from one maker of recycled PLA to... Thank you so much, Sebastian. Thank you so much. I'm just going to quit my story here. I saw something that I'm probably going to put on my lists for this for any donation I'm getting here. I'm putting in that little save jar. I saw something that I think will be my goal for saving, but only if it's still available, and I will let you know. I will let everyone know what it is when I'm absolutely certain it is available. Let me swatch first before I'm forgetting that. I'm just going to react on you here. Sylvie, that name doesn't say anything to me, so I don't know. Thank you so much, Sebastian. Yeah, this is quite an opaque color. I think I need to do this off camera. So there you go. Since it's an opaque color, it almost looks the same on the swatch as it does here. But it's a beautiful color nonetheless. Let me just quickly let this dry over there. As opaque as cadmium yellow. That's a good one. Let me have a... I think it comes... It's quite close. Maybe even... I think it's quite close. I would say maybe even more. But... not quite sure about that. Hey, what's colors? You can select that you're not interested in the ad on YouTube. Oh, that's great, Sylvie. Also, everyone, make sure to check Sebastian's story on Instagram to go to the live tonight at 6 to see his to see the announcement whether he is the best artist of South Africa. There's also a reason, Sebastian, why I'm going live right now and not later, because usually during the day I have music on or watching an episode of something. It really depends on my mood. And I thought, you know, in the evening it's just there's a bit more time for it. And this evening I'll be looking at the live stream of your thing, so fingers crossed for Sebastian, I think. All days, you saw you have I have some of Kramer's pigment cases. If I ever consider swatching them on the video, yeah, it's actually a good idea. Actually, a good idea. Let me check something quickly if I can do that. Let me have a look. Sebastian, this is you. And this is, there we go. There we go. And this is the link to Sebastian's, to the live stream tonight. So hopefully everyone can see the link. It's my pleasure, Sebastian. I think it's the least I can do for you. As you can see, it's still kind of yellow. So apart from being opaque, it's quite a tinting pigment as well. But this should do it. It almost takes longer to clean than to make this color with this pigment, which is weird. Because usually it are hydrophobic pigments that are this stain or this tough to clean as well. There we go. Yep. Be careful with this though. This is a newer palette knife. This one is the sharpest that I have. If you're cleaning it, and if you don't have enough fabric or anything like this, and you're holding it with your thumb, you can really, really cut yourself. So be careful with that, please. For those of you who are interested in making paint, that is. That is good. Okay, so bye, Gipel. Thanks for joining. Hey, what's colorist? I'm sorry. What is that? There is one thing I didn't show yesterday, by the way. So let me just share my screen. If it is still connected, yes. It is for, let me first show that. This camera, guys, seriously. How can we do this? Is better? That's better. Okay, so the Sits pigment, which is, I think this is kind of the right. Nah, it's still more intense. Let me do this, so you can actually see the color in the corner of the screen. So this is the color, and this is the curve, which is a beautiful curve. It's really beautiful. It's like a wavy curve. I didn't have any hiccup, I think. Oh, good night, Heather. Thanks for joining. I do sometimes, but I didn't notice it when you said it. Maybe there was a delay in connection. I don't know. All days. Have a look what kind of colors you like. Look for something out of any color group, for instance, a very nice blue, a very nice violet, orange, green, you name it. Start with that. Maybe you can double that and name a warm blue and a cold blue, a greener, a yellow, more yellow green, and a more blue green. Things like that. A magenta and a scarlet, a very warm yellow and a more lemon yellow. I would start with looking at pigments like that, and after that you can have a look. Okay, within that list, are there natural pigments you would like? Are they still there? Do you want to add natural pigments? You can. The list that I just named was everything synthetic, but you can add a natural color to it. Add a natural yellow, a natural red, a natural green, a natural blue, a natural violet, things like that. So you have a little bit of difference between synthetic and natural. Well, you name it. Those are options you could think about while trying stuff. Hey, what's good? That's completely fine. If I do ever have a hiccup or you notice anything, feel free to say so. The 25 pigment set, Sylvie said, it is a great start. But I do like that Kramer now also offers the option of sample bottles, which is just a little bit of pigment for €3. They start at €3, but really depending on the pigment. They're not going to sell you their purest lapis in a sample jar for €3. I don't think they will sell you the Moss Sit for €3. So have a look at that. Ask them if you are interested in those colors. Yeah, I can show you. Actually. Their pigment bottles look like this, the samples, which is basically what you get in some of the collection boxes. For the shipping old days, like I think I suggested that on Instagram as well. This weighs, so this little box of samples weighs 150, almost 160 grams. So add 2 jars of pigment weighing 100 grams per pigment, for instance, or add 200 grams of pigment, and you have an estimate of shipping in the website. So you kind of know what you get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 little jars of pigment, weigh about, on average, these have cobalts, manganese, but also quinacridons in them. So think about 200 grams, and you should have between 15 and 20 little pigment samples for that. So you have kind of an estimate for shipping. So this is basically, this is the amount of pigment you can expect from a sample. It isn't full, the jar isn't full, but it is a good amount to check colors. It's not enough to, with some pigments, it would be enough to make one pan paint with it. With other pigments, maybe like this earth one, you wouldn't get a generous pan full of it. Enough for a couple of dots, that's for sure. I can send the link here as well, although I'm not getting paid by Kramer to do this. I'm happy to do so. Let me have a look. You can all look at my screen as well. If the website wants to work with me. There we go, I'm going English. When we are looking at pigments, I'm not quite sure where they were. Let me just have a look here, and let me get all of these products here. And I think as a product number, let me have a look. Order number, price, name, ascending, descending. Just going to have a look. There we go. There's a sample. 95000. For me, that's you know, including VAT 4.17 in euros. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to send the link here. There you go. So that's the link to the Kramer website. But again, guys, I'm not sponsored by Kramer, but they do offer me a discount for my orders because they don't do affiliate links. So that's also in all transparency. I do get a little bit of discount. I also asked for some of these samples, which I got for them, you know, by Kramer themselves, and not, yeah, for free. Looking for a more difficult word, but that's, I think, the best way to describe it. I got some of these samples for free, and I have a few of these little boxes for some of the research for videos that I do and things like that. But these are the sample bottles on the website, and the link I provided with that. So I'm doing them a favor as well. But it's a really nice option that they offer for these little sample bottles, because sometimes I absolutely agree with you all days. It is really difficult to choose what you're going to buy, because there are so many beautiful pigments. That's okay, Sylvie. Don't feel bad about this. I'm going to log out. Like, I'm not going to stay for too long. I need to think about which paint to make next. So I need to have a look at that. Hopefully see you soon. Have a great day. All Days is asking, did you use pyrite before to make paint? I think I've never made it. I think I have it. I can look it up, but I think I have it. I never made it into paint. No. Nope. Basically because that's the stuff I want to get out of lapis lazuli to make a beautiful blue, and not make paint out of it. So that's maybe why I didn't use it as a pigment to make paint. Kramer's Space Indigo. What is their Space Indigo? Now I want to have a look. Never see. I don't see it that quickly either. I lost my, or not I lost, but it's probably behind another jar, but I couldn't find my bigger jar of yellow ochre. So I'm just going to make paint with this one. Since we were working on the yellows, I needed to top off some yellow ochre. Oh, it's in their paint selection. I will have a look later. I don't know if they're offering less of them. To be honest, I am a customer there, but not for that selection of products. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what they actually had before, so I don't know if it's less now. You also wonder how zirconium red looks compared to potter's pink. That is a good question. Which pigment number does it have? Does it have a pigment number? Just going to do multitasking here, not even looking. Sorry to hear that the advertisement is bothering you, a watercolorist. Oh, the zirconium red. What? Let me have a look. I wouldn't know. Apparently, the zirconium red that they used to have is discontinued. Did you send the link here, Gulchen? Because I don't think the chat can send links. I'm the only one who can do that. Maybe that may have something to do with the protection filter or something of YouTube. Yeah, Kramer used to have. Well, I can just show you here. Used to have this one, which is product number 42050, and Kramer now has 42060. In spread, it's similar to that one, they say, but looking at this, and you see it's not available anymore because of its, it says so here. It looks more like a Mayan red, a orange leaning Maya red. But this is the one that yeah, this is the one that used to be available. And this is the one now. So it's probably a different batch that just looked different enough to have a new product number. It's a very lippy color, yes. as you can probably hear, we're working with a natural pigment. It's not as bad in yellow ochre as it is with some others, but it's quite clear. That's nice, Gulchen. Soon I will get a sample of a pigment that is another granulating pigment. So a granulating red. I see zirconium red has some granulation in it. It is a natural pigment, but like potter's pink, cerium sulfide red, and Yintico, they are all granulating reds, red pigments at least. Soon I get another one that looks a little bit like Yintico, but it's more pastel. At least I should get a sample of it. Is zirconium toxic? Or it shouldn't be, I think. Not that I know of. Thing is, you know, zirconium is a synthetic. If you think, you know, fake diamonds, it shouldn't be toxic, and there's no mention of it either. PB71 is a zirconium pigment as well. Zirconium ceruleum, right? Cerulean is the color, is the hue. So for me, my go-to cerulean pigment is PB35. It's a cobalt cerulean. If you don't like working with cobalts, that's a great alternative. I do like it better because the granulation that it gives, it can make a brilliant partner with yellow ochre, for instance, and an earth red, to make an earthy kind of triad. It is not an earthy blue. It is quite a vibrant blue, but because of the granulation and its opacity, and it looks quite amazing in a more natural triad like that. Okay, Gulchen, I'm laughing because I haven't played Pokemon Blue in my case. I had Pokemon Blue. Since I finished it when I was 11, 12, and it's the first time I'm making the link because you're just saying it to me. Wow. I think my mind just froze. Yeah. I'm literally not moving. It's just... Now I can't go to sleep at night. It's just... I'm going to lay awake because of this. It is an awesome fact, and also I'm quite ashamed that I never thought of this. Not because I, you know, I don't think about Pokemon on a daily basis. I think that's quite fair to say, but I never thought, you know, oh, I recognize this name. Ever since I started making paint. Yeah, that's how I feel right now as well, all days. It's not good because I'm making paint. I literally have a Game Boy layer here around here somewhere, I think. Ah, the battery's gone. It also has Tetris in it and not Pokemon. But yes, it is still working, at least when I replace the batteries. If everything is still, you know, intact. But I will replace the battery soon. I'm not going to do it now. This just completely messed up my day. It's not funny. Thanks, Gulchen. Now my brain hurts. I'm on the wrong side of 30. Everything hurts to start with, so don't start, you know, hurting my brain as well. Was saffron also in the first one? To be honest, if you say saffron, I think red. I know it will give you a yellow dye or, you know, any color, rice, water, whatever you think, but the spice itself is red. I always think, you know, saying saffron, I see that kind of coral red color. Same with vanilla. If someone says vanilla, which is the second most expensive spice, I'm thinking like a deep dark brownish pod. Not the custard like pastel yellow. What people think of. Enjoy the crazy memory, like details like that stuff. I used to have it as well. I really sound like an old man now. But there are times that you just think, you know, like I think 2 years ago I could still do the poke rep. I'm not proud of it, but facts. I could still do it. And right now I can't even think of it. I don't want to hear it as well. Just don't start it. Soft green. not filling this because this was, and it slid through, I think. This was one of my pens that were affected by the heating issue. Come on, autofocus, we can do it, come on. These were one of the pens that were affected by the heating issue. You can see the bottom expanded. It doesn't fit into a painter's palette anymore. Like the top is good, but on the drying rack I couldn't see, but this thing is wobbly. So yeah, that's gone. And since I'm using my yellow, I still have yellow left. Since I'm using my yellow ochre in my Egyptian palette as well, let's fill those up with the first layer too. I wanna be the very best. No one ever will. Nope. Nope. I know that's not the poker rep, but nope. Not going there. It's already going on in my head. That's the worst part. Do 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 do. Andrea, welcome. I didn't see you before here. MY, how many layers do I do? Well, in my Egyptian palette, it takes about 3-4-ish layers to have a nice amount of paint. In these, it really depends on the pigment I'm working with. So some need 3, some need 5. In all honesty, I can put a little bit more paint for a layer in my Egyptian palette because it has a larger surface area and it dries out more evenly. So the smaller your surface area gets, the smaller your layers need to be because it's easier for air bubbles to get trapped in them. This is yellow ochre. I'm filling on the yellow ochre that I use. It's a Yeti class version. Is my favorite yellow ochre, and I'm using it in my Egyptian palette as well as a single pigment. Yeah, this is also a 3D printed palette, and these are little dot palettes for the Egyptian palette, which I can also fill now. I think it's been a while since I worked on the Egyptian palette during a live, actually, or I showed it. Yeah, I will absolutely swatch it. That was the wrong one, wasn't it? I did put them in the, oh, that's okay. I'm just going to, okay, these dots aren't, they are supposed to be here, but anyway, they are going to be filled with the same paint eventually, but that is just me not paying attention enough to it. It wasn't because of the chat or anything, it was just they weren't lined up. Sorry for the sound. They are cutesy, aren't they, Paolo? Yeah, special edition chaotic order. No, I wouldn't call them B grade. There's nothing wrong with the paint. But those are things, you know, I can easily finish these, fill them up with the other colors, and just give them away with orders. So, what else shall I make? That's not a question for you, by the way. I need to check that. What is my favorite color? Well, easy answer. It's probably ultramarine blue. When I think, what is my favorite color to make? It isn't ultramarine blue, I think. I actually think it would be close to, I think it would be something like Yinmin blue, to be honest. Same as the NTP Yellow. The Yinmin is so incredibly easy to make and to work with. Let's swatch this as well. I think my favorite color family would be blue, yeah. Most interesting pigments, I would say, would come from either the green or orange family, because there's some weird things going on sometimes. There aren't that many violet pigments that are. There are some very, very nice and beautiful violet pigments out there, but there's just not that many, which is okay. There aren't many greens as well. looking at single pigments. But they are more interesting in my opinion, more versatile. Red isn't really, I like it as a pigment, I like it as a paint, and they're beautiful reds, but I wouldn't, it's not my go-to. Same as yellows, and it also kind of is visible in my collection. There are a lot of yellows, yellow pigment out there that are very similar, or not light fast, or mainly produced for other uses such as plastics and different kind of coatings. So yeah. No, PV14 is actually exactly the same as PV49. Obviously, it's different. It's different pigment numbers, but it's indistinguishable in any aspect. Making it, but also swatching it, they look exactly the same. PV14 has a darker and a lighter version, and you need the light version to have the same one as PV49, which has been discontinued. It's not being made anymore, probably because of PV14. For some painters, PV14 is a brilliant one for using it in a mix optically. In its mass tone, looking at the pigment itself, it is a near perfect magenta, especially when you think digital magentas and digital cyans. I think PV14 is a perfect magenta, whereas maybe PG50 or PB17 would be a perfect cyan. Yeah, so where did you buy a PV49? If I may ask. It has been discontinued for a while, but that doesn't really mean that it's not out there anymore. But what's out there, that's about it. PR Quinacridone Magenta is in its mass tone, it's not the best magenta. It really needs transparency or a white added to it. And in a wash, it's like a really good magenta, but it's in its mass tone, it's way too dark for it. So as a mixer, or as you know, looking at the pigment, PV14 would be most suitable, but it doesn't mix. Like that's the thing with PV14. It just doesn't want to mix as a pigment. It separates with any mix you make. It won't be a homogeneous. I don't know what's the word. An even mix. If you use PV14. For instance, when you use PB17 or PB33 and PB14, PB33 is an intense granulating pigment. PB14 is as well. If you use either one of these blues with PV14, you'll always get a separating violetish blue, but you won't get the violet you're after because it won't stay one mix, and that is a shame about those cobalt violets. PV49 pen. Ah, that's interesting. Fat Filbert, welcome. Thanks for joining. Well, yeah, it is. It is weak. It doesn't have a lot of tinting strength, and yeah, so weak in that sentence. I would say tinting strength, but it's true. PV14, PV49 both have that issue. So there's this yellow ochre swatched, and it's probably that's quite close. Quite needs to be a little bit warmer for that. Let me have a quick look. Not the saturation. White balance, not that warm, guys. I think this is quite close to the real thing, looking at my screen. As you can see, I needed to tweak the white balance a lot. I think I'm just going to, I'm sorry Fat Filbert, by the way, for this. I'm going to clean up, and I'm going to call it a day, at least for the live stream. Well, this is, I can type that. This is yellow ochre with these letters behind it. It stands for the way it was cleaned. Purified, maybe even. So there is this. Oh, it's quite late already. It is very late, actually. So everyone, I will just call it a day for the live stream. I will continue making paint, but thank you everyone for joining. I'm so sorry. I'm just about to leave Fat Filbert. I'm really, really, really sorry. You're with us in spirit always during the stream. Know that. But I need to go to the store still for dinner, and yeah, there's a lot of, and I need to still need to make some paint. But I'm so sorry. I feel quite bad. Wolfgang, thanks for joining. Old Days, what's colorist Paolo, Fat Filbert, Gulchen, everyone else who, Namisao, everyone who is not in the chat. Also, thank you for joining. But if I forgot anyone, thanks again for joining and making this an interesting couple of paints that I just made. Next time, and it's probably going to be Wednesday evening again. I can do Yin Min. Maybe I'm going to make that before. I don't know. We'll see. I need to also make a new schedule for which paints need to refill and check what is already dry and not. Because when I'm live streaming, I'm not putting on my dehydrator. But I'm going to put it on right now because I want my paints to dry as soon as possible. So have a great day, everyone. Yeah, Wednesday it is probably. Otherwise, see you another time. Bye, everyone.